Hello and welcome to my special budget blog. George Osborne has just stopped talking and we've now seen what new bombshells he's going to have in store for contractors. And the reality is it was a bit of an anticlimax on the whole, more positive than previous budgets, which is great. So I'm going to look at the impact on contractors very, very shortly. But before that, let's just have a look at the wider things that affect everybody and then specifically what could affect contractors. So point number one. The widely anticipated increase in the tax allowances for income tax, both for the basic rate and for the middle rate, is going to be up at 45,000 by 2017, which is good news, but not a massive surprise. The big highlights will be taxes on sugar for all those of you who like sugary drinks. Then you're going to be hitting the pocket for those, I'm afraid. There's been freezes on fuel duty, always going to be a winner for everybody. And also a freeze on alcohol duty on things like beer and cider, and indeed those of you who like a drop of whiskey. So all very popular policies there, which don't cost the Chancellor a lot, so all very safe. The key thing that's going to grab the headlines is going to be an extension of the Help to Buy ISA, which has now been extended into some kind of pension replacement scheme. So the ISA limit, first of all, has been increased up to 20,000 per year. The government has also said we now have a lifetime ISA, so those of you with the Help to Buy ISA can actually roll that into the new lifetime ISA. Those of you young enough who are under 40 can now contribute up to £4,000 into one of these, and the government will put in a £1,000 contribution. So very popular indeed. You can use that to buy your first home or indeed to give you retirement income. The Chancellor's main theme was to try to support the next generation, and this is his flagship policy with this budget. There wasn't a lot of disastrous news for contractors, which given the last two budgets is really something to cling on to, I would say. So as far as contractors are concerned, there were some positives, so let's have a look at those first of all. None of them are really earth-shaking in their content, but corporation tax, the lower rate will drop from 20% down to 17% by 2020. Every little helps, of course. There's been a bit of a relief on the oil and gas sector, which obviously will affect some of you who work up there in the North Sea oil fields. There's going to be a halving of the levy that's currently put on oil and gas producers from 20% down to 10%. Hopefully that will mean that certain contracts are a bit safer than they were. Oil prices, by the way, on the FTSE have reacted instantly to that and have gone up given their recent hammering. We've had announcements to cut capital gains tax from 28% to 20% for the higher rates and 18% to 10%, which can be useful for some of you. Unfortunately, it's not going to be extended to properties that are being disposed of, so maybe a bit of a double-edged sword there. The main positives as I see them are the investments in the infrastructure, particularly in the north of the country. The HS3 link by railway between Manchester and Leeds has been given the green light. There's big investment in the roads in the north, particularly the M62, again between Lancashire and Yorkshire, and indeed bolstering of flood defences all over the country, particularly in the north. These will all lead to more work for those of you who work in the engineering field, who are contractors, and indeed in the supply chain that sort of project would support. So these are the positives. Things to watch out for where there wasn't a lot of detail right now: personal service companies, for all of you who work in the public sector, who do use personal service companies to mitigate expenses, etc. That sort of thing is now going to be closed. And the Chancellor's main strand, I guess, in order to generate revenue by the end of this Parliament is going after tax avoidance measures and aggressive tax avoidance schemes, the details of which we don't yet know, but HMRC, I'm sure, will be communicating those in the coming months. They are the highlights of the budget. Lots of little things that will probably help to endear the Chancellor, given how he's alienated people recently, particularly contractors, with regards to dividends and property. The final thing is the stamp duty hike, which obviously upset quite a few landlords who are contractors recently. That has actually now been rolled out to all of the portfolio landlords as well, so nobody unfortunately escapes from that. They are the highlights. We will see over coming days and weeks how that unfolds in terms of policy, but hopefully that we haven't been too badly damaged by any of that, and you can probably see a few quick wins for you. I'll be back next month talking a bit more detail about the impact. Thanks for watching.